Roman Reigns' return on walking stick to confront Brock Lesnar at WWE Raw. Welcome back, WWE Insider. Imagine the dim glow of the arena lights flickering over a man who once ruled the ring like a god, now leaning on a walking stick, his eyes burning with a fire that no injury could extinguish. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, stepping back into the chaos to face his ultimate nemesis, Brock Lesnar, on Monday Night Raw. Please like, share, and subscribe for more WWE content. The air backstage was thick with unspoken fears that night, as whispers spread like wildfire through the locker rooms. Roman had been spotted arriving, not in his usual armored SUV, but in a quiet sedan, his face etched with lines of pain that told a story deeper than any championship belt. His return wasn't just a comeback, it was a resurrection born from the ashes of betrayal, where trusted allies in the bloodline had turned their backs, leaving him isolated in his darkest hour, questioning every bond he'd ever forged. Grief hung heavy over him like a shroud, memories of lost family members, wrestling legends who'd passed too soon, mixing with the fresh wounds of his own health battles, reminding him that immortality in the ring was nothing but an illusion. The health crisis that had sidelined him wasn't scripted, it was raw, real, the kind that creeps in during sleepless nights, doctors' voices echoing in his mind as he fought not just for his career, but for his life. Scandals had swirled around the WWE universe in the months leading up, leaked emails and hushed accusations of backstage manipulations that pitted superstars against each other, and Roman found himself at the center, his loyalty tested like never before. Death had touched the roster too intimately that year, with the sudden passing of a veteran wrestler who'd mentored Roman in his early days, leaving a void that no pyrotechnics or crowd cheers could fill, only deepening the emotional chasm in his soul. Family breakdowns were the cruelest cut, his own bloodline fracturing under egos and ambitions, brothers turning to rivals, wives and children caught in the crossfire of fame's relentless grind, tears shed in private hotel rooms far from the spotlight. Backstage tension crackled like electricity as Roman hobbled through the corridors, crew members averting their eyes, knowing the confrontation with Brock was more than a match, it was a clash of titans fueled by years of simmering resentment and unspoken vendettas. You could feel the weight of it all in the way Roman gripped that walking stick, each step a defiant declaration against the body that had betrayed him, his muscles screaming in protest but his spirit roaring louder. Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, paced in his private locker room, his massive frame coiled like a spring, but even he couldn't hide the flicker of unease. Roman wasn't just returning, he was coming back haunted, driven by emotions that transcended the ring. The crowd's roar built like a storm as Roman's music hit, but backstage, it was the quiet moments that hit hardest. A trainer wrapping his knee, a quick call to his family, voices breaking with love and fear, human vulnerability laid bare. Betrayal echoed in every shadow, former allies whispering alliances with Brock, deals struck in dimly lit offices, leaving Roman to wonder who he could trust in this cutthroat world where friendships were as fragile as glass. Grief resurfaced in flashes. The hospital rooms, the chemotherapy scars hidden under tattoos, the nights he'd stared at the ceiling, grieving the man he used to be, now reborn through sheer willpower. Health crises like his weren't just headlines, they were battles fought in silence, with loved ones holding his hand, tears mixing with determination, a reminder that behind the Superman persona was a father, a husband, fighting for more than glory. Scandals had nearly broken the company, with investigations into performance-enhancing secrets and illicit affairs, but Roman rose above it, his return a scandal of its own, defying doctors' orders, risking everything for one last stand. Death's shadow loomed larger as he approached the gorilla position, thoughts of fallen comrades fueling his rage, their legacies pushing him forward, turning personal loss into a weapon against the beast. In that electrifying moment, as Roman emerged on Raw, leaning on his stick yet standing tall, the arena erupted, but it was the raw emotion in his eyes, betrayal avenged, grief channeled, family redeemed, that left us all breathless, witnessing not just a wrestler, but a man's unbreakable soul. And as we reflect on this epic saga, remember that in the world of WWE, it's the loyalty to those we love, the legacies we build through pain and triumph, that truly endure. Stay tuned, insiders, for more stories that hit harder than any suplex, and hit that notification bell to never miss a beat.